Okay, so we'll start with a couple of words why we do work with mudbox at this time. So, of course, sculpting is not something that only sculpting programs do, or let's say only Zbrush has, right? There are other softwares, not only Zbrush. So let's talk about them. So of course, Maya does have some sculpting tools, as long as you subdivide things, and I think even it has Maya masks. Does it? Doesn't show me the tooltips. I think it's masking stuff. Oh no, that's shape. Yeah, freezing. These are masks, I think. Whatever. So we can do stuff in Maya. That's cool. We can sculpt things in Maya, and that's what we explored last time. Actually, Blender has kind of nice options for sculpting as well, and it has nice sculpting tools. Of course, Blender is cool here because it's free for us. So it has some kind of cool brushes like this, you know, representing all sorts of. Let's have more subdivision levels. You know, if imagine you want to make wrinkles of cloth or something, you know, that's kind of cool thing. So there are things in Blender, but it's not meant, basically, nor Maya nor Blender, they are not meant directly for sculpting. They have some options here, but still, mudbox is somehow still there. But of course, we have Zbrush, the #1 sculpting solution, and we also have 3D Code as well. I never sculpted in this program, so I'm not sure if I will be able to show lots of stuff here. Grow, where's the size? Radius is a bit small. Yeah, okay, we can do things in here as well. So there are alternatives, basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And why then on earth we are using mudbox? So of course it's free for us as we have a student accounts and we can work with mudbox. So what are its kind of drawbacks? First of all, we cannot create a base model here. We would always import already existing model, you know, or start with a cube or the presets they have here. But these are just the OBJ files. Some were installed together. We would normally have a low poly character created in Maya, and then we would import it here. First, when you import things here, we'll try to import just anything. Let's see, this is my Maya document. Let me make some crumbles with this model. So, okay. So first of all, now it has okay UVs. Let's destroy that. Let me create some problems in UVs. So say it's going out of tile 0, 1, or might be something is, you know, overlapping. So problems here, and I will make some problems in topology as well. Why am I doing this? I want to show that our mudbox, at least what I like it for, is to kind of show us all the troublesome areas, so we can fix it. Where is the cut tool? Who remembers where the cut tool lives? Multi-cut, yes. So say I have such polygon, so it's a T-shape thing, and it's a five vertices. I think 5, yeah. Let's have one more pole here. Oh, this is also a pole. Okay, so this is our object, and I will export it. File, export, selection, OBJ, export. Where do we export it? I'll export it here. Perfect file naming, so you will always know what you're doing. Okay, so now I'll import the model, and if we go here. Oh no, problems detected in imported mesh. We have high valence vertex, whatever, the pole. You have UV faces crossing pile boundaries. Yeah, that's a problem. So basically, it immediately tells us generated faces. So I'll just say keep this mesh, and you see if I hit W, it shows me wireframe, and I can see problematic areas here. Tells us what doesn't like this pole here, this pole, and so on. So sometimes I even use mudbox just to show visually where the troubles are in my model, so it's easy to go back to Maya and fix it. Regardless, we're not going to do that. I'm going to pretend that I just modeled a perfect head here, and I have a perfect head. So the controls here are more or less the same as everywhere else. So what is it? Alt and the normal mouse button. Or of course you can use this ugly cube if you want to. W is to show wireframe. And we have this model here. So now first of all we need to subdivide. So as the same way as in Maya we use smooth preview or we subdivide. Here we do the same thing. It's Shift D. We subdivided it once, twice, thrice, 4 times. 5 times, and now you should be careful, how much polygons you have and when your computer is going to die. So if I go to object list, you see that I have this base head and it has levels. How many polygons it has, and so on. So basically, normal sculpting starts with that not in the highest level, and you use page down and page up to move between levels. So page down goes up. So say at 3. I'm sculpting the main, biggest kind of features of the face, the muscles, I don't know, whatever. And in the highest level, I am sculpting all sorts of like skin detail and such things. And of course, I should start with the big features and then move on to small ones. So B stands for brush, and we have a size. Stands for strength, and we have a strength of the brush, and we can start sculpting. I'll undo, and I will immediately turn on my mirroring. Somewhere there should be mirror off. So now we choose the axis, and it visually shows us the axis, and we can sculpt it with mirror. So till now, everything, we have all these tools in Maya as well. We don't need mudbox for this. Of course, control goes inwards, and we have sculpt tools. We have lots of you see different tools here, so we can even refine the mesh. The selected mesh cannot be tessellated as it contains the latest one of the following higher subdivision levels. Oh, I guess I needed to do it in the highest level, whatever. So that's what Maya doesn't have. We cannot refine the model only just by creating more subdivisions, but that means that it's not only in that specific area we'll have more subdivisions, but everywhere, and that might be too much for the computer to handle. Anyways, so we could of course sculpt, and then at the end of the day we would move up 4, 5, the highest level, and we would sculpt way smaller features of your skin and such. Of course, you would not just do it with a plain brush. You would always use Stampin Stencils. So I'll just grab the stamp, and you see we can have something akin to skin stuff. Now we also have a steady stroke somewhere here. I think Maya also has it, and it kind of averages your motion, so it has so there is no it's more straight kind of line. Yeah, we have all sorts of fall-offs, for our brush. Maybe it won't be visible, maybe here it will be more visible. This kind of thing, let's say that kind of thing. You notice we can control this. Of course, we can still do it here as well with those stamps. What else is interesting? Okay, not that important stuff. So of course those things is the most important thing to create good looking model. So you need lots of alpha channels, or whatever it's called. It's not actually alpha channel, it's just a stamp you can create in Photoshop. say make a bigger brush, and you see I have some skin detail. Okay, so this is all the things that I'm doing here. They are in the mesh, and there are very, very small details in the mesh. Let's have actually stronger. Yeah, you see if I look at the silhouette, it's all extruded here. So, and of course I couldn't use this model in-game because it's too many polygons that the computer would die. So how do I transfer this surface details to my low poly model? So I go up, or is it down to level 0. You see there is no more detail, only some stuff remained, the biggest things that I did. Basically now I need to transfer textures, minus terms speaking, to transfer textures from this low poly 0 to the head this mesh, from this mesh to this mesh. And now let's see how we do ambient occlusion plus normal maps. So that happens here under extract texture maps. We create a new operation, and let's say we want to get our normal map. And you see our target model is the low poly stuff, so level 0 is a target mesh. Source model is our highest level. So in this case, I want to go up, and now it's, should I refresh it? Operation, normal map, or maybe I should have used the same one, whatever. So now from 5, I will go to 0. Now what else? My texture size, I will keep it small just so it doesn't take time. Anti-aliasing, of course, you would want some of it, you would test it out. And then for normal maps, we have, you have to remember that our pictures have RGB colors, which are represented to X, Y, Z. And Maya and Max use different, X, Y, Z is different things. So in Max, Z is up. In Maya, I think Y is up. So the same thing goes for Unity, Unreal, and such. So you would need to know which one it is. What's your target color scheme, basically, how this normal map should be displayed. But actually, it doesn't really matter that much because in most softwares, you can always flip one of the channels. So when you import normal map, you can say change Y to, basically they're telling usually change green, swap the green channel to whatever, I don't remember, but basically it stands the same thing as, change Z is up or Y is up. So you just import the texture, see that something is wrong, and change that. So in this case, I'm not gonna change anything here. It's a tangent space that we want. And that will be it for now. Yes, I think there is nothing else. And we hit extract. Oh, it doesn't let me because I didn't decide where do I want to extract it. So I need to define the file, where it's gonna be saved. We'll use the same folder here. So, and file name will be very great. It will be whatever. Probably here it already has this. No. Let's see. Can we do it? Extract. And is it? Oh, finished. Okay. So it's finished. Now what we could do is we could try looking at it in Maya, how it works. So of course, I didn't actually create this model in Maya, so I will export the model to Maya. I go to level 0, so this model here, and I will export this model. So I have to select object. I think I need to select object. I'm not sure if I do. And I will export. Should I send to Maya? It's mudbox 20, my Maya is 19. I will not risk because I'm not sure if they're compatible here in my installation here. You could, if error, nothing selected. Please, oh yes, selected. File, export selection. So I will use the same folder here. The original name. I'll just keep the same name. And I'll try to import it here and see how it looks like. So file, import, and we go to find our our folder. I think it's this one. Ooh, big mesh, and And as you see, it doesn't have a, it's not smoothed. So I go to edges and I will smooth it. No, soften edge, check them out. Fine. I have a model. Now I need to edit its editor. I want to find its lumber. And under bump mapping, I will try to find file. And that will be not a bump, it will be tangent space normals. So remember, bump map, old school stuff, but we want to use for which one, bump depth or probably value, not sure. Okay, let's find this file again. Come on. Oh, where am I? Here, here. Bam, we have a file loaded, but we don't see anything. So we turn on show textures, and here we go. And you see I have problems here. So maybe I'll need to swap this. What I remember the thing for the Max Maya stuff. I'm not sure where it exists in Maya. No. Okay, we're gonna. I'm not gonna try to find a problem at the moment. Probably I would have had to extract it with different. Might be extracted with max settings. Don't remember. So basically, we have a normal map. You know, these bumps don't exist in the mesh, as you can see here. These ones do, but this one doesn't. But it already is affected by lighting. All right, so this part you still can easily do in Maya itself. Why on earth do we need a separate sculpting program? Select objects. Okay. Why on earth do we need this separate program? So yeah, the transfer map is very easy, and I still haven't showed you how to transfer the ambient occlusion. So extract texture maps, texture map, and ambient occlusion map. Again, from 5 to 0. I'm on the wrong level. Which level I'm in? I need to go to 5 and do the same again. This one, ambient occlusion. No, I'll do a new one. Yeah, from 5 to 0. Again, quality, the size of your texture, and such things. Anti-aliasing, where to save it. Yeah, let's do it. More W's and extract. Some operations are not supposed to graphics supported by the graphics card. Please check the minimum system requirements. Nice. So I have problems with my 2080 Super card. So what? I didn't manage to do it. Let's see. Yeah, I actually won't be able to do it. That's weird. I would have to also play with, see if I can change the graphic rendering engine here. Not sure. But basically it should have worked, and you should have had just black and white image with shadows. We won't do that now, it seems like. Okay, so yeah, so why would you want to have the separate program just to do subdivisions and to do all of these things? So first of all, let's see, I can have layers here. So I'm in level, what is the level now? Page down. Level 4, highest level. And I can create a new layer. And they say this layer is the one where he's carved, when he has a scar. And then I create a new layer. And this is, I would of course change the name of the layer. And this is where he has a scar in some other, area. Maybe here will be a young person, an old one, and so on. And I can always, have it, show one layer, the visibility of one layer and another layer. Made lots of layers, but control it only in one. whatever. So basically, it's very nice to have this ability. Imagine you want to have, yeah, a person, and you want to, you know, when it gets beaten, it gets more and more wounds, and you want to sculpt them. You can do it in layers, and then you extract, you know, different versions, and you can change materials in your game based on the situation you have in the game. So that's one cool thing here. Can I delete them? I should be able to delete them. But the other thing that is cool to have is, yeah, stencils. So how do they work? It's basically an image over the top. Now, if I remember how it works, I think S. Yes. S plus right mouse button is scale. Middle mouse button, I move it. And that's it, probably. There should be rotation somehow. I forgot. Both? No. Whatever. So what we can do, we can also sculpt. It's kind of like stamp, but we are always looking at, you know, at this image. So then it's of course interesting to work with it. Imagine I would want to make him with bricks on his head. So let me have a look at UVs. Oh, I have to go to first level in order to see UVs. So level 0, I go to UVs. So here is a connection, you know, of UV islands, UV cells. And if I would want to make this in Maya, like let's say size S, make it smaller. Let's pretend, oh, level 5, 4, let's divide it more, Shift D, that's enough. And I want to make something like that, a brick wall. Right, of course, now I'm not trying to be very precise, but you see I can use this brick wall, and I will try to go around his head. Just all of it. And each time I change my point of view, of course, I'm you know, this would be kind of impossible to do in Photoshop, let's say. Go to level 0 just to see my UVs. It doesn't show it here. I'll have to extract the texture here in order to see what happens. I will do that. Extract. Normal. Do you need to save it somewhere? I'll just overwrite this one. Yes, sure, whatever. Extract. And let's have a look. Add the texture. So you see, it started, it goes here, it's interrupted, and it continues here and here and here, and there's always overlap. This one with this one, I'm not sure, this one might be with this one, and so on. But in Photoshop, you would not be able to work with this. Where we have seams and UV shells, we have problems. Here in Mudbox, we don't. Of course, again, you don't have to use Mudbox for this. You would use Substance Painter that was bought by Adobe, I think, recently, so maybe its pricing will change. Or you would use Mario or something like that in order to have this. Again, another nice thing about this program and Zbrush or 3D Code or any other program is that we can also draw stuff. So I grab a brush and I go to paint mode. Oh, paint. Oh yeah, this is paint mode. And oh yeah, you see I already have null on that because I extracted it. Normally you would have nothing here. That's delete selected. Yes, we have nothing. Let's turn off this stencil thing off. Right. So I want to draw. I start drawing and says, oh, wait a minute. Where do you want to draw? Do you want to draw the diffuse? That's an albedo and that's a color. Let's do that. So file format, of course, you know, 8-bit or 16-bit, you know, and so on. It doesn't even have JPEG, so internally it doesn't want to compress and destroy the quality of the thing. Of course, later on you can convert it to whatever, PNGs, JPEGs, or whatever, and resolution. Okay, and now I can draw colors. Yes, I have white color. Let's see where do I? Yeah, it's under brush, I think. Options and brush options should be here. So color, you can change the color, but of course it's rare that you would actually draw on it unless you have a specific kind of specific style of the art style that you're going for, kind of simple one. Of course, most of the time you would use stamped images, or what I like to do most of the time is use Stencil here. So again, a brick example, and you see I draw one brick, move it around, draw another brick, move it around. So the same thing as I did with normal maps, I will try to replicate it here on the color. Of course, you would do it more precisely. And I will also do it here. I'll just make it fast. Yeah, fine, whatever. Now let's see if I can see that affected here. Yes, I can. Oops, sorry. I will. Yeah, you see the brick stops here and starts here and so on. So that's a really cool thing. Another thing might be I already had created my materials in Photoshop. I can import them here. So import layer, you import layer and tell that it's a color map or something else. And you could use things like clone stamps. So I'm not sure I can use it. Say Alt. No. To use clone stamp, you click Control. So click Control, and you see I am cloning from here to here. And that's the best thing for seams. So let's say here I have a seam and I clone it with something. And here I have it fixed. So you can draw in Photoshop and fix seams just using this clone stamp tool. And in order to get this to Maya mudbox, to Maya or Unreal or whatever, you just export layer somewhere or save layer, export, select it. And where do I want to select to save it? So yeah, fine. Can I do it to JPEG already? Yeah. Of course, you would not want to do it with the JPEGs, but I will. And here's our texture. You see, I would not be able to do this line here in Photoshop that easily. All right, again, here you can have lots of layers as well. And again, if somebody beats you up, you make a wound layer. If you get older in the game, you make a new layer. And you can export all of that and mix all of the layers and so on. You can also draw, like opacity layer if you need to, stuff like that. All right, what else should I show you? Posing, curves. Probably these are the most important things that we would want to look at mudbox. And again, as I said, we can do some stuff in Maya itself with its sculpting tools here. The thing that we looked already. And normally, of course, we would use Zbrush. Do you have an object here? Let's see. Create an object, go to edit mode as far as I remember. Please convert this to permitted format. I'll just do as I'm used to. I will import my tools. Let's see if I can grab the same head. This one. And edit. Yes. Now I don't remember how do you subdivide in the mudbox. Don't remember. Anyways, you can start working here as well. It has even more tools here compared to mudbox. Of course, that's good to go. If you have access to it, that's what you should learn. And of course, there are alternatives as well. 3D code here with its nice materials, and it has also a lot of cool things here.